So just recently, quite a few stories came out about AI grifters presenting their generated work as real art at art conventions and artist alleys. I've had a lot of artist friends reach out to me recently to cover this topic, and I don't go to these conventions regularly, so I'm not always super plugged in with these issues, but the more I looked into this, the more just absolutely disgusted I've become. So the first scam here happened at DragonCon, which I believe is a convention that takes place every Labor Day weekend in Atlanta, Georgia. So as a shopper, you might assume that this is a safe space where you can support every single genuine local artist at the venue, but unfortunately that's not the case. So this AI prompter actually scammed their way into DragonCon, taking up a very large table space, and when the staff found out that they were actually an AI prompter, staff had come in, security had come in, and they were escorted out. So my fellow YouTuber Inkwell actually did a really good video coverage on this topic, and I want to just play some clips so you guys can get some context.
DragonCon is typically one of my favorite events of the year. However, they definitely had an AI issue this year as there was multiple vendors trying to get away with selling AI material and passing it off as genuine artwork. Regardless of how you feel about generative AI, it is simply against the terms and service of a lot of these art events. Collectors and general attendees go to these events thinking that the halls are vetted and that the work is done by professional artists. But we're going to focus on this bozo for the moment. I'm not sure when attendees and artists started noticing that something wasn't quite on the up and up with this booth, but from what I was told by staff, they were notified on Saturday evening towards the end of the day, right before the hall was about to close, and confronted those in question. Now, if you look at the floor plan for the Pop Artist Alley, the artist that is listed goes by the name Oriana. Looking at this booth, Oriana is nowhere to be found. As this was all taking place, people were able to notice on their story in their Instagram that they were in Europe. Not physically being present at the event goes against DragonCon's terms and service as an artist. When staff and artists confronted those running the booth about this and questioned them about these very Mid-Journey looking images, the man running the table said that he was Oriana's boyfriend and that half the work was his, and that's why the styles were different. And when pressed further, he said it was actually a gallery collective, that Oriana's father and mother had also been artists, and that's why every piece had no cohesiveness.
Now, one of the most suspicious things here, aside from maybe all of the AI artifacts that you might see when you look closely at one of these paintings, is the lack of a distinct style from this artist. And that's not to say every single artist needs to have a super unique and distinct style, but usually at these artist alleys, if you just glance across the booths, you can kind of tell that each artist has left their own fingerprint on their work, and they usually have a pretty unified visual aesthetic, which is clearly not the case here. You've got surrealism with the flowers and the woman, and then you've got very 2D looking anime art combined with almost hyper-realism in the Joker painting, and then you pan down and you see Superman, which is a lot more rugged and graffiti-like, and it's very disconnected. It's lacking harmony, lacking cohesion, and it looks like it's been produced by multiple people. And if we just take a still from this footage, you can see this is happening with all the other pieces in this booth as well. You've got hyper-realism on 3D Batman, vibrant two-dimensional pop art on the fake Vogue poster in the gold frame, and then you've got like a very cartoony and simplified look for Snoopy on the top right corner. Now, if you think that there's a chance this was actually done by a real artist, here, check this out.
When the staff confronted the people at Oriana's booth, they denied it and produced a quote-unquote process video. A very questionable process video. A process video with lots of jump cuts that doesn't actually show any processes, just still images. You just go from this to this. That's how art is made. Clearly. One that non-artists might not catch right away, but one that anybody who has actually drawn anything would understand that this doesn't prove anything.
I wouldn't say this doesn't prove anything. This actually proves that this was done with AI. Again, see, this is what makes me so mad about these grifters, is that they are not targeting people who already know art. They're not targeting artists. Their goal is to target the people who just don't know any better, who want to go to these conventions, want to support the local community, who might not fully understand the process of art making, and they might show them these process videos and just try to con them and make them think that they drew the entire thing. For anybody who's ever drawn anything in their life, you're going to look at a process video like this and you're going to know it's fake. Absolutely nobody draws like this, and there's no reason you can't have an actual time lapse instead of still images layered on top of each other.
On Sunday, we were informed that they were receiving a lifetime ban, and then first thing Monday morning, they were removed by either police or security and forced to leave the hall. However, it doesn't fix the real damage that has been done, as a real artist could have been in that spot. I'm also sure that they made a lot of money and misled a lot of buyers.
And unfortunately, I believe they did, because if you look at RJ Palmer's original X post, the account associated with this grifter, OG Art Official, which is such an ironic name, by the way, someone had posted a story calling them out, and they replied in the DM saying, "Cheers, I'd share a screenshot of my sales this weekend, but don't have to show it. Give any explanations to you losers." And they then sent a message saying, "You guys are sore because you don't sell shit and will be forever broke. Have fun being a broke bitch." This just goes to show the mentality of some of these people. You know, they are literally fraudsters and scammers. They're here to make a quick buck at the artist's expense, and there seems to be absolutely zero remorse for the people they've actually conned.
And conventions need to be aware of this and be prepared on how to handle it when it arises.
Now, you guys know my take on this. I really don't mess with AI generated images, but at the end of the day, you know, it's someone else's choice what they do with their life, what they do with their time. If they don't want to learn art and they just want to press a button and do a prompt, that is out of my control. Unfortunately, you can live your life. But in the context of an artist alley where people are actually going to spend their hard-earned money to support the local art community, everyone there has expectations for the artists and the vendors to be legit. And the act of not disclosing and communicating to your buyers that your work is either partially or entirely AI generated, in this context, it's literally fraud. It's a scam. And huge props to DragonCon for actually kicking this person out before they could do any more damage. You can see the artist got kicked out with a police escort. Atlanta police. It's kind of wild. Now, another story that I want to cover here today involves another artist who attended DragonCon, whose name is James C Mulligan, who has recently been investigated and blacklisted by Disney for using their name to sell AI generated artworks. James C Mulligan, as you guys can see here, has quite a few followers, and he seems to be someone who's a little bit more established in the community already, which is what makes this second case even more insidious.
Looking at some of James' work, you will see that the base of his pieces looks legitimate, but then the rest of it is clearly fed through an AI generator to give it its finishing touches. It looks to me he likes to avoid putting in any real work to his backgrounds. So on the surface level, it's not as clear-cut to a showrunner to just kick out somebody like James. But looking at his work, there's clearly AI usage, allegedly, in my opinion, for those who have eyes. And it was clear at DragonCon this weekend by anybody who passed their booth that his work is getting more aggressive into the AI usage, or at least it's getting more blatant. He also removed over half of the images on his gallery wall after people in the DragonCon Pop Artist Alley started noticing something didn't feel right. A week before DragonCon at a different event in New York, Twitter user ToonEmu said, "Hey, so this guy at Anime NYC just blatantly lied to me about not using Gen AI in his work, then scammed my mom off of several $100s in prints." Emu said that she questioned James at the event about his AI usage. He ended up pulling out his tablet, and she said that you could see that the character was drawn within Procreate, but that the background was copy-pasted in, the part that clearly has the AI tells, with some of the books melding together unnaturally.
This is very blatantly obvious to anybody who's ever drawn anything, you know, just the warping of the shelves, the merging of the books into each other. A lot of these are signs of AI generated artifacts here. My biggest problem with this is the fact that this is somebody who's using their established name, their established identity to sell work that was made with generative AI without, you know, telling, communicating, fully disclosing to his customers that this is the workflow that he used. As somebody who values clear, concise, and direct communication in all aspects of life, this baffles me. And this absolutely makes my blood boil because I have tons of friends who do conventions for a living. And people like this, people like James C Mulligan here, are taking valuable spots away from artists who deserve it so much more. You have no idea how devastating it could be to someone to not be able to get into one of these big shows. You know, it might affect their entire annual income. And then you have people like James here, people like the previous scammer, who just waltz in there with their slop. Complete lack of transparency of their workflow, just grifting money from the people who are actually there to support local artists. It's disgusting.
RJ Palmer, who was also at the Pop Artist Alley, said, "This guy is at DragonCon selling AI images. Personally saw him making a $500 plus sale. He isn't just scamming, he is thriving while scamming. Truly vile work." And again, this leads back into the misrepresentation and misleading warning collectors and general attendees on what you're selling.
Now, again, if you're at one of these conventions and there's somebody who is just setting off your alarm bells, you could always ask them in a nice way to see their process, because this stuff is pretty easy to prove. All you need to do is show a time lapse of you actually making the drawing. And that's exactly what this user on X did. I then asked him if I could see the time lapse replay, but he told me he didn't record one. I have made over 700 illustrations using Procreate, so I know for a fact that it automatically saves a time lapse replay. I told him this and offered to show him how to access them. He then got mad at me and told me to leave. I got into a bad fight with my mom about it after, since he tricked her into thinking his process was all his own and that he did not use Gen AI. For any of you guys who are not sure, the refusal to show any process work is a humongous red flag. And for anybody who's an artist out there right now, if you have not started recording a process for your drawings, do it now. Even if you don't like recording every single drawing, just keep a couple of them on hand from beginning to finish to show people that you're legit. Now, it's very unfortunate that we as artists are forced to do this right now. We're forced to kind of prove our innocence, but this is just the state of things. You know, you got to look out for yourself. When somebody else reached out to ask about this specific issue, James actually threatened legal action. In your statement, you mentioned photos and process videos proving your work. Could you please share those for clarity? James says, no, at this point, we think the best course of action is to have our legal reach out to you. What's a good email for them to contact you? Again, just a threatening tactic, dodging the question. As an artist, record your process videos, show your process videos. When someone questions you, it's very, very easy to prove your innocence that way. Now, unfortunately, he wasn't able to do so because he was guilty. He was guilty of scamming people out of their money, and he was guilty of pretending like he didn't use Gen AI when he clearly did. And man, I freaking hate scammers and grifters. Like, all of that energy that you put into doing this fraud, you could have put that energy into drawing. How about putting that energy, James, into learning how to draw backgrounds? Instead of trying to fake process videos, instead of trying to lie to every single person who comes up to your booth and then just happily taking their money, knowing that you've lied to them and you've just taken business away from some other artists who are way more deserving of it than you. Now, the third and final story is actually very local to me. This is Fan Expo Canada, which happened in Toronto, right on my very own stomping grounds. And I cannot believe I missed this, because a couple of my friends who were at this convention told me that they spotted tons of AI generated art there. And after doing some research into this topic, apparently Fan Expo allows their vendors in the artist alleys to use AI generated content and sell AI generated content, which is just absolutely wild to me. Here's an article from Now Toronto. Fan Expo Canada has not publicly stated policy on the sale of AI generated art, leaving it unclear if vendors are allowed to sell it, which means they are allowed. If you don't mention it, obviously they're allowed to do it. Some people have commented, note that Fan Expo is a corporate for-profit convention. Ones like Anime North are actually fan cons that are non-profit, which is also why they allowed that Bell AI picture booth care more about the check than the actual fans. So of course it's a very money-driven scheme. All they care about is that all the tables are booked up and all the booths are sold. Apparently like a quarter of stalls were all selling AI artwork. Took opportunities away from real artists to sell AI slop. Someone said ban AI from all markets, expos, or make it mandatory to disclose that it was made with AI. And I 100% agree with that. Either ban it outright or make it mandatory to communicate and disclose. Someone else who was there said the AI art didn't even look good or as good as actual artists' work there. And there was definitely more than just a quarter of the artist alley, more like 1/3 to 1/2 of it was. Now, I personally didn't attend this event, so I didn't get to see this for myself, but based on all of the feedback from people online, it seemed like this was a real problem there. And what really concerns me is I don't know how many casual convention goers go into these artist alleys expecting there to be real artists who actually drew their work without even realizing that they're being conned out of their money by people who just type in prompts and pretend to be real artists. It's crazy. Oh, what's even worse about this, it's so bad it's almost comical, is that this company, this Canadian monopoly company called Bell, decided to host a free photo booth as a part of their advertisement campaign, except there's one catch, okay? You take a picture of yourself and this Gen AI turns you into a anime character. This Gen AI photo booth was actually placed directly near where the artist alley alley was, which is just a huge slap in the face. Now, their official statement is the booth featured original ethnically sourced content with no copyrighted material and no misuse of likeness. Local artists contributed original sketches for poses, angles, and compositions, and all design overlays were handcrafted. It was designed purely as a fun souvenir for fans, and we received a lot of positive feedback from people who lined up to enjoy the experience. So you're more than welcome to take that corporate speak at face value like they want you to. Now, unfortunately, I've just recently become aware of this issue, but apparently it's been going on even longer than I expected. So this is from 1 year ago, and somebody said, please research exhibitors before buying. Now, this is a very important tip, and I'm going to echo this in just a second. I made a mistake that I even tried to take precautions for. There's a vendor called Wall Nostalgia, but they also go by Evoked. They have a bunch of canvas prints, and they even claim to license out the art, even listing the artist's name, in this case, Sato K. I thought I would be supporting both a small business and an artist, but maybe not. So after doing some research, they realized that they couldn't find the artists, so the artist was likely made up. They reverse image searched for the art and nothing came up. Now, if that wasn't obvious enough, if you just take a look at the curvature of that katana as well as the wrapping on the handle, it is completely off. For anybody who's a little bit more experienced in art, you could probably tell right away that this was actually made with Gen AI. And this just goes to show this is somebody who went to the expo expecting to buy real art, support real artists, support small businesses. They're told that this piece is made by an artist when it clearly is not. This again is fraud. This is a scam. So Fan Expo is apparently allowing these scammers to infiltrate all of these artistic spaces like the Artist's Alley. So again, I want to make this video as a PSA for customers who go to conventions to buy art and support local artists. And I also want to make this video as a PSA for the artists. For the customers, okay, the first step you should take is to make sure that the convention has listed in their policy that they don't allow generative AI art in their artist alleys. And if you're going to a place that has not actually stated that explicitly, you've got to be very careful with your purchasing decisions. Always do research on the person that you're buying from. Check out their social media, check out their portfolios, check out their process videos, and actually go up and talk to them. You know, talk to them about art, talk to them about their inspirations. See that they're actually someone you can trust before you spend your hard-earned money. It boils my blood to see these grifters and scammers infiltrate these spaces, and honestly, I'm very proud of all the artists who do go to these conventions, who do speak up about this topic, because that's the only way to get our voices heard. You know, we've got to speak up, we've got to stand up for ourselves. You know, these companies, these corporations are always going to be after profits and money, and they never really care about the well-being of the artist or the customer. So we'll take a stand, we'll keep talking about this. I think the case with Dragon Con and James C Mulligan is a really good step in the right direction for preserving spaces for artists without Gen AI. And on a more personal level, I know a lot of people who do go to conventions to sell. You know, these are artists who make this their full-time job. This is by no means an easy job. You know, these guys are working day in, day out. They're flying to their destinations. They're paying out of pocket for their stays, for their travel fees. They're bringing all of their equipment with them. They're lugging all of their products with them. And these convention artists work so hard to put food on the table. It frankly pisses me off to see a scammer and a grifter take that table spot away from an artist who has worked so hard all their lives to finally get an opportunity, a shot at being at one of these conventions, only to be denied. Because in the case of Fan Expo, they just allow a whole bunch of scammers and grifters into their artist alleys. Anyways, guys, this is a PSA video. Be very careful what you do at these conventions. Be very careful who you're buying from at these conventions. And for the artists, please keep speaking out against this. Hopefully this video helps you out. Hopefully this video reaches the right audience. If you're an artist, please share this with your non-artist friends so they know what might be waiting in store for them when they go to one of these conventions. But yeah, that being said, thank you for watching this video all the way through. And again, let's not send any hate messages towards anybody mentioned in this video. Let's be kind and let's be civil. We don't have to stoop down to these people's level. Okay? Subscribe if you guys want to see more art related videos, and I'll see you guys on the next one.